kick him off the side. And then the police, of course, they've been supporting these pro-war protesters all day, and they went and arrested that boy too. And girls have been getting punched in the ribs, girls of like 13, 14 years old. A lot of freshman Berkeley High School students out there today.
Well, let me jump in here, because I was out there and I spent several hours out there at some of the most intense times, and I have to admit that I was surprised by the ferocity and the commitment of many of the students. Some students didn't know what the hell was going on, but a lot of students were out there and knew what was happening. And that's why, Raphael, I want to first of all let people know that for those of you in the Bay Area, KPFA and KPFB will be covering the City Council meeting tonight, and they'll be meeting on an item, and there's going to be a battle over the language of this item, but if people who are feeling more strongly have their way, this will be an item in which the City Council says if the Marine recruiters continue, they'll be essentially persona non grata in Berkeley, correct?
Absolutely.
And it'll be covered on KPFA tonight. Eric, who's at the board now, will be there with others covering that. But I want to get to the young people in the studio, and let me start with you, Kevin. You're 13 years old. You, in the 7th grade, you were arrested, right?
Yes.
Why did the police arrest you?
Well, I was trying to break up a fight between two people because an older man came to my friend and started saying, "Oh, you guys should get an education and start going to the Marines." And so my friend's like, "No, I'm never gonna go because I'm not gonna die for something that I'm gonna waste my time doing." And then so I go over there to stop.
So the man who was essentially telling your friend that he should stop this protest and get an education and join the Marines, and you went over, and what happened?
Well, I was telling him to stop already, and then that's when another guy started saying stuff about me, and then I just went over there and I was like, "Dude, you should stop saying a lot of stuff." And that's
what kinds of things, without any curse words, but give us an idea of what they were saying.
He's like, "Oh, watch. As soon as you get older, you're gonna learn that you're gonna go with the war, and so you're gonna have to be joining military, Marines, and a lot of stuff." And then I was face to face with him, and that's when the police pulled me back and got me on the floor and handcuffed me.
Because you were arguing with this guy. Now, you were thrown on the floor and handcuffed for having an argument with this guy?
Yeah.
And why? What did the police give you a slip, or what did they arrest you for?
Because I wasn't really doing anything bad, so the officer started saying that they gave me lots and lots of warnings.
And they arrested your sister, who's 18.
Yeah.
And she's still in jail now.
Yes.
What's her name?
Luisa Romero.
And why did they arrest her?
She was she was just standing at the door, waiting for me, and she was trying to see me whatever happened. And then that's when I heard over the officer's radio that they had arrested a woman.
So I guess your sister was trying to get information about you, and she ended up getting arrested. Why? I really appreciate you coming in. Why do you think you were arrested, really? What do you think the real reason that you were arrested? You think it was because you were protesting against the recruiters?
Well, yes, because the other guy, there were a lot of people would start to say stuff, and then the police officer would just look at us and just say that we're doing everything bad and the other people weren't. But the truth was that we weren't doing anything bad. The other people were doing a lot of stuff, calling us names and a lot of stuff.
Well, why did you come out there today with your mom and your sister?
No, my sister was at home, and then I was with my friends at the protest. And
why were you there?
Because I was trying to support that people shouldn't go to war, just to go there and fight other people's battles and die.
Also in the studio, thank you very much, Kevin. Also in the studio is Kat. She's 16 years old. She's a junior at Berkeley High. And Kat, you were sort of roughed up today. First of all, tell us why you were out there today, what this meant to you.
Well, I came out here because I used to live in a really, really conservative town in Pennsylvania. It was run by some of the most racist people you could ever hope not to meet. And basically, there was a Marine, Army, Navy recruiter outside of our cafeteria at all times. And, I mean, basically, I know the disgusting things that they do to get kids to enlist. They put out plates of cookies. They try to have push-up competitions. They say that they'll give you all these things that they don't. And about most of the kids in my school never went to college. They just went straight into the Army. And the reason I'm here today is because, I mean, this isn't just about Berkeley. This is, if we can get these people out of here, I'm hoping that maybe someday this can spread to the rest of America.
And tell us about what happened to you today. And you were attacked?
Yeah, I was in the front line of when, like, during lunchtime when things started to get really intense. I was in the front line of the protest, and there was just, like, a mob of people, and out of nowhere, for no reason at all, we weren't moving forwards, but the riot, like, the police officers, they kept saying, move back, and there was nowhere for me to move. And the first time I was on my friend's shoulder, and they started sticking me in the knees, and the second time they were telling me to move back, and they just took the stick and they pushed us right into the chest, and I fell backwards. And then the other time, to the American anthem, might I add, they pushed one of my friends out of the way, and, like, I looked up to see what happened, and the guy grabbed me across the shoulders, pulled me back, nightsticked me in the stomach, and then grabbed my throat and threw me on the ground, and then told me to move back more.
Now, I was out there for most of this, and I watched on several occasions where the police simply, I mean, it was a face-off. There were several dozen of the pro-war, pro-Marine recruiters, and then there were many, many students, and the cops were in the middle. And there were several occasions when the cops simply grouped and attacked and forced the line back. And I saw a lot of people being pushed around. We're running out of time, but we also have in the studio, Maya, you graduated from Berkeley High last year. You were out there in the protest. You work with Answer Coalition. Tell us why you were out there today and what that meant to you.
Well, I think it's extremely important. I've been up there since 4 o'clock in the morning. I know that there's been people who camped out there, but it's extremely important for the youth to come out and really fight against this war that's been going on, the recruiters that are coming into our schools, that are coming into our neighborhoods, such as Berkeley. Berkeley High students really fought against this. We see that there's no funding going into our education. We see that there's no funding going into textbooks, into teachers, into housing or job opportunities. And all that we see are these recruiters coming into our neighborhoods telling us that this is the only way out. The other thing is that we also recognize that we are oppressed people by this government and that the Iraqi people are also oppressed by this government. We stand with the Iraqi people. No one is standing up for them. Politicians aren't standing up to end this war, and we will no longer stand for it. We will no longer be on the front lines dying and having blood on our hands for nothing more than the profit of the select few individuals in government.
Well, we're out of time, and I do want to give Kevin the last word. And then I'm going to come back to you for just informational stuff. But did this scare you? You were out there, part of a protest, standing up against war. Do you think the kind of treatment that you got today, you got arrested when you were 13, do you think you'll be afraid to come to another protest, or will you come back again, even though you were attacked like this and arrested?
I'd probably come back to say my word. But I wouldn't be near police or anything.
Because you're afraid of them now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope that your sister gets out okay. We're going to follow that story up. Kevin, we thank you for being with us, and we know it must have been incredibly scary. You have some informational stuff for us, Raphael.
Right. This was an incredibly inspiring, but it was also an outrageous display of brutality by the police and by the right-wingers, and we encourage people to call the city council, call the Berkeley mayor, call the police station, demand that these young people be freed from the jail and that violence against the young people will be stopped. We're calling for people to come to the police station tomorrow at lunchtime at noon and protest again against the brutality that was committed. March 19th is the 5th anniversary of the war. We're calling for students all over the country to walk out from school, say no business as usual, and also this Friday, February 15th, we're going to be shutting down the Marine recruiting station in Berkeley once again.
All right. I want to thank all of you. Please.